Lesson 65, Natural Phonics Primer, a Universal Safety Net for Literacy with Don Potter. Here we go. We learned in an earlier lesson that EA could say E, just like the double E can say E. The EA can also, though, say the short A sound in break. It can, which would be like this, with the E silent, break. It can say the short E sound, as in head, and it can have, with an R here, it can have the sound in learn. Our key words are cake, bed, and fur in the phonovisual chart. So first let's look at the EA that says A. And what you have to do here is you have to connect the spelling and the pronunciation with the meaning so that when you see these words out of context, you'll know what meaning to assign, what pronunciation and meaning to assign to it. It will help you as you read these to read them in context, because the context will give you an idea of what the word probably is. So I would say whenever you see an EA, try the E first, and if that doesn't work, then you can try the A and the E. So let's take a look at these. The first one is bear, like a bear that lives in the forest. Then we have bears, which is simply the plural. Next is break, and this is break like you break something, break a stick or something, break. And the next one is simply the plural of that, breaks. Next we have great, like great job. Pear, that grows, nice juicy pear that grows on a tree. And then we have the plural of that, pears. Next we have steak, a nice juicy steak. Swear, for example, when you pledge allegiance to the flag, is a form of, they call that to swear allegiance, pledge allegiance. Swears is just the S form of that. Then we have tear, like tear a piece of paper, and wear, like what do you wear to school today? And this word right here, tear, can also be tear, even with the same spelling. So there's no way to know what that word is in isolation. You have to see it in a sentence. That's why when you dictate that word for spelling, you have to use a sentence. He had a tear in his eye, or he had a tear in a paper. Now we're going to do the EA that has the short S sound, as in bread, bread and butter. Breakfast is my favorite meal. Breath, take a deep breath. Dead, the fly was dead. Deaf, that's when someone cannot hear. Death, there's a book called Death at High Noon. Dreaded, when someone dreaded something, they didn't want it to happen, they dreaded it. Feather, careful with this one. This is a feather, like a bird's feather. Head, use your head. Healthy, make good health choices for your health, and that way the next word is healthy. Notice a Y at the end, healthy. Leather, a leather belt. Meant, I meant to do my homework. Heaven, they say, is a beautiful place, heaven. Heavier, and then the next one's related to it, heavier. John is heavier than Philip. And the weight is heavy. The next word is instead. He wanted to do his homework, but instead he watched TV. Bad idea. The next word is red. Now I know it's red because we're doing the short E here, the short E. But it also could be read a book. And again, the only way you can know that word is to see it in context, use it in a sentence. Next word is ready. Are you ready to do your timing on this exercise? Spread. He spread butter and jelly on his toast. And then you have spreading, same word but with the ing. Steady. Be steady. Don't be shaking. Be steady. Sweat. I worked so hard that I worked up a sweat. Sweater. To keep you warm. A sweater. Threads. Like when you're sewing, you have thread. Tread. The tread on a tire. Tread. Treads. This is like when you're walking, he treads on water. Wealth. This is money. And a person that has a lot of that is called a wealthy person. And what is, the next word is weather. What is the weather like outside? And the last one is EAR, that has the sound, not ear, but as in the word earth. The earth revolves around the sun. Heard. Have you heard a good joke lately? Learn. We need to learn as much as we can. Pearl, the pearl of great price. Pearl was my first grade teacher's name, so that would have been a capital P there. Pearl. A pearl comes from an oyster, and it can have like a pearl necklace. And the last one is search. Searching for the lost ball. Okay, good luck on these, and it will take a little time to master these, but they will help a lot with your spelling. They're pretty common words.